Okay, have fun.
Hello, and thank you for viewing my video. I chose corrections as my future, and I interviewed a former warden. He was there for 26 years, just formerly retired, and that is my father. Due to the fact that I could not go into the jail and talk to somebody because I could not post it online, I chose to interview my father, who actually knows everything. I mean, he was the warden. So I hope you enjoy. I very much so enjoyed the class with Professor Latimer, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sherry John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do.
Today I'm here with newly retired Warden Masker of the Volusia County Department of Corrections. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right, I got a couple questions I'm going to ask you for people who are possibly interested in the career of a corrections officer. So appreciate your time. The first question I have for you is, what type of education qualifications are we going to need? Someone that is interested going to need.
Well, someone looking for a career in corrections needs to have a minimum of a high school education or a GED. Any college is helpful. Some agencies, if you have college degrees, you can go in at a higher pay level. But again, the minimum would be a high school education or a GED.
Do you suggest pursuing a diploma in criminal justice?
Yeah, that would be most beneficial. I know when I went to the academy many years ago, we got a certain amount of college credits towards your criminal justice degree with attending the academy. So again, there are educational incentives and benefits that if you have a college degree, you can actually earn more money.
Okay. The next question I have is, what type of skills are needed or are necessary?
Well, to be a correctional officer, I think the most important skills are people skills. Okay, you're dealing with people, even though they're inmates. Also, writing skills are very important. Good judgment, strength, conditioning. You're on your feet all day. You could be involved in physical altercations. But mostly you have to be able to talk to people and you have to be able to listen.
Okay. What is the outlook for employment this year or future years?
Corrections generally is a pretty good field as far as employment opportunities because one respect, there's usually a high turnover because corrections is not for everybody. So a lot of people get involved in corrections and then for some reason or another they decide it may not be for them. So there's generally always job openings, and once you have your corrections certificate, you can pretty much go anywhere and get a job.
Are there any websites of any information on the corrections jobs, on the facilities that there are?
Generally, if you're looking for a career in corrections, you need to decide where you want to work and then go to the website for that county or that individual state or whatever jurisdictions, whether it be the Federal Bureau of Prisons, again, state agencies, or various county or local facilities.
And what is that website for Volusia County?
It would be volusia.org.
Okay. We're going to get into some questions about what it's like on the job. What is the work environment like? Is there any traveling required for someone who may have to go to another jail?
The work environment, generally, when you get hired, you're hired as a corrections officer. You go through the academy. You're assigned to a certain post or a shift inside the jail. And you don't necessarily have to travel a whole lot unless you're going somewhere for some classes or something, or an educational opportunity. For the most part, you're inside the jail. You're in a restricted environment. There are some outside duties, doing transports or working on the recreation yard, different outdoor posts. But for the most part, you're going to be inside a building dealing with groups and inmates or single inmates throughout the day.
Okay, and can you expand a little bit more on job duties and types of responsibilities one might run into?
Well, once you're a corrections officer, there are different aspects of the job, like in any field. You have your line staff that work what we call working the floor, where they are the ones doing one-on-one with the inmates for the most part. You also have officers that work in booking that are responsible for all the paperwork that goes to and comes from the courts. They're responsible for booking inmates in, making sure we can legally detain them. They're also responsible to make sure that inmates are released according to the judges or their sentences. There are transport officers that, what it says, they take the inmates from point A to point B, whether it be to go to a court date, whether we go to an outside medical appointment. There are different posts that involve using weapons, towers, or perimeters. There's a multitude of different posts that you can get while you're a corrections officer.
Okay. A couple more questions. Salary. What is an average salary for starting out, and what could it be the outlook at the end of your career?
Well, in Central Florida, the average salary varies by county, but it runs for about $30,000 to $37,000 a year as a corrections officer, and you can go up in your career with the right education and the right promotional opportunities. You can be in a six-figure range. You can be making $100,000, $120,000 a year as a director, assistant director of an organization.
Alrighty, well that ends my questions. Is there any other information or anything important facts that you want to include before we finish up?
Just that I believe corrections is a good career. It's not for everybody, but can be very rewarding dealing with people. The benefits are really good. You get a good retirement. You get medical benefits. The pay is not bad. And again, for me, I was there 26 years, 6 months, and 9 days, and it was a very good career for me. And I would encourage anybody with that kind of dream to follow it.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Congratulations on retirement, and thanks again.
Thank you.
What you gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?